All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. Happy Monday. We are adjusting. We are kind of just doing a little bit of an update episode, I guess, here.
So fun. Because we know you all want to know about what we're doing.
People ask.
Maybe you do, actually.
Some people ask.
I find it interesting.
We're just going to run through like what's going on. What's going on with us? What's going on with Hello? And go from there. So let's have some fun, I guess.
We'll drink our tea and
I have a tea. So
talk about all stuff happening.
I guess the first thing that we should touch on, or I want to touch on, is we've started adding guests to our podcast.
Yeah, it's been actually really fun.
It has been a lot of fun. It's different. There's a learning curve because I don't sit down and record every week with everyone outside of you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like you have to figure out how to get someone to talk about themselves, and that's not always easy. So far, the guests we've had have been amazing. So
Correct.
They've made it really easy on us.
Yes.
And
we're particular to who we're asking or inviting right now, just people that align with stuff that we all are on like the same page. So it does make it a little easier. We're into the stuff they're doing. They're into the stuff we're doing. So it makes the conversations flow. There's a mutual respect, just a cool vibe. Like all of that has to come together and has been, which is exciting.
Yeah. So this actually, we've had guests on in the past. We started with wanting to have guests, and then we were like, maybe we don't want to have guests. And I think for me, a lot of it was just, I was like, how do we keep this consistent?
Yeah.
And I worried about that. And I didn't want to take away from, I guess, what we were doing and the message we were trying to get out for people. But so far, I would have to say I've been really pleased with.
Yeah. And I think it aligns.
The outcomes.
I know we're, again, having guests on that align with what we are talking about, things that we do believe in, products that they have, some that we use, or just some of them stand for cool stuff and you should know about them. Like, I don't know.
And to be honest, the guest thing kind of came up it came up because Kelly from Schedulicity had reached out. She is, I believe, the head of their marketing or the head of their content or whatever it is. And she was like, hey, we stumbled upon you guys' podcast. Would you like to collaborate on something? And I took a peek at their website and I was like, yeah, this could be fun. Let's have a conversation. So we had a conversation with her and Missy, who is their head of sales.
Yes.
And then
and we clicked right away.
We spoke to them through a video chat for, I don't know if it was like an hour or so, and just kind of got to know them. And we were like, yeah, there's definitely something here.
Yeah.
So we've committed to, I think, 4 episodes with them.
You're in charge of that, so sure.
Yeah, I think we're recording through January. So there'll be 3 more episodes. The first one came out, episode 113. I don't know when this episode will release, so it came out this week. And it's been great. It was a lot of fun. And then today we recorded an episode this morning with Tim Howard of Vish, who we're fans of anyways.
Yeah, and we've had been in communications for a couple years now. So there's already was a relationship there. We didn't have to like
pre-interview or anything like that. Yeah.
To make sure it was going to like all go together. Yeah.
And then we have
a lineup.
We have a lineup. Yeah. So we have some exciting guests, and I'll kind of leave it at that for now.
Yeah.
But we have some owners.
They're all people that we enjoy their company.
Yeah. Some owners of some pretty cool companies. And we have some educators that we just happen to love.
Yep.
And I don't know off the top of my head. We've got a bunch though.
Yeah.
We're actually at a point where we're like, okay, now we have to look at January's booking.
Yeah.
To have guests on. So it's been interesting for sure.
And hopefully you guys enjoy it and give the feedback and let us know.
Yeah, I think it brings a lot of value because it's like when I had my gym, there's just this phenomena that happens where you could be telling someone something a million times, a million different ways, and you really want them to get it. And then you go like on vacation, so you have a fill-in coach, or they go on vacation, so they work out somewhere else, and they're like, hey, this coach over here told me to try this, and I did it, and I finally got my first pull-up, and you're like, I've been working on that.
I didn't tell you the same shit over and over again, you just didn't listen.
Right, but by having someone else say it,
Yep.
it just clicks in a different way.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. I think that's something that should be celebrated.
Well, that's what we're here for, right? We just get things, whatever gets you inspired, gets you up in the morning, gets you excited what you're doing, whether it comes from us, a guest we have on, like we're doing the right thing. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. And like I said, for me, I don't care where it comes from. I don't need to be the hero in everybody's story. What I want to do is just inspire people to think different about their business, or people to think about their business.
I was just
in
going to say,
general.
or think at all.
And then bring on these amazing guests that will like sort of co-sign what we're saying, or we co-sign what they're saying,
or have experiences that
message.
you can just relate to, that you're like, oh, it feels so just normal now, and not like I'm the only one.
Yeah, you're definitely not alone. Been talking a lot about that. We're working on, and by we're, I mean me, working on changing or revamping our content. So we were not doing video with this podcast.
And now we are.
We started off, we ran into some technical issues, I guess, or hiccups, because I'm not a sound engineer.
You're not?
So I'm not.
And I definitely am not any of this stuff. I can't even figure out how to mute my Zoom when we were first recording. So
that is
like,
a truth.
Echo. I'm like, it's not me. And then like, it's you. Like,
We're like, can you check your mic on your end? Can you check your headphones? Something's going on here. And then it was
me.
Definitely Jen.
Because when I turned my video on, my mute came off, and I just don't even have a clue.
Either way, we are going to be doing video content, which is cool. So we'll be back playing around on YouTube.
You can see our faces all the time.
Which I know I'm going to have to get used to talking to the camera. But we have been asked for YouTube content. And I didn't want to just throw up the audio with like a blank screen, or with like our logo or something. Yeah. So anyways,
this just kind of developed, and here we are.
This just happened in the last like few weeks, or month maybe. And it's been a whirlwind, but we're excited to have a new approach to content. So
we're doing it.
Very cool. What else do we have going on?
We preach all the time to pivot and innovate, and here we are, right?
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about the salon.
Sure. Let's talk about what's going on. Hello. There's lots of...
There's a lot going on.
A lot of stuff. I go into every month it's hot, and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed of like what's happening here. And I got to like write it out 5 times, and I still feel overwhelmed. Or you know what I did yesterday? I brought my kid to school on the day that he doesn't have school anymore, because his program has ended till January. And the teachers looked at me like, why are you here? We have school. No, we don't.
Okay. To be fair, it's a program that is starting back up. There's just a break in the
teachers
semesters.
were super sweet. And then today when we picked up Ollie, they were like, hey, just so you know, there's no school on Friday. Like,
so funny.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about
busy.
Let's talk about prepping for the holiday season a bit, because we're in the holiday season. We're in November. This is the 8th, and I feel like we're still gearing up.
We're in it
because
though.
there's so much going on, and there's so many new things happening. But we are definitely in the holiday season. I think for me, a big part of like prepping for the holiday season, I know I see a lot of people that are like, 2 weeks to Thanksgiving, 6 weeks to Christmas, and that's their version of prepping. And I see people that
I think everyone has a calendar and knows.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying, like, and so I see people that are sharing, like, here are our, holiday packaged gift boxes, and that's their prepping for the holiday season. And for me, it's more about our team.
Yeah.
Growing our team. This is a huge opportunity for anybody listening, not just our salon, not by any stretch of the imagination, but everybody in the industry. This is a huge opportunity to have new guests and surprise and delight them, and build a solid clientele, heading into, because I'm always in the next quarter in my mind, but heading into slower times over the winter. We're in the Northeast. We are 100% going to have days we close for weather.
We will be shut down. Yeah.
It happens. It happens when the governor sends out a thing and it's like, stay off the roads.
Right.
Unless you absolutely have to go out. We really don't want you out there. So
and take the day.
Yes.
Prep for it ahead of time, but take the day.
And so what we're doing is or my role really is just to support the staff, continue to market, and assist them in any way, shape, or form to continue to adapt, I say, or change up our systems that we have in place to make things easier. Because the easier you can make things, the more likely people are to follow your systems in general. So that's my role. How do you feel? Like, what is
So
for
I
people
actually,
listening? You know,
some of the stuff to get ready for a busy season. I actually mentioned this in a few podcasts ago of a great idea I had on the podcast, and it is now implemented. So this will start, like, it's silly, but let's start right with, well, okay. So the first thing I did going into probably September for the holiday season, I made sure we have a good amount of gift cards and things like that, because gift cards sell at the holidays. So I wanted to make sure we're stocked up with there. How are we delivering our gift cards? Cool. Done. The next thing is, like Todd said, it gets cold. So we now have tags on all our hangers with our staff's name. So when they hang up their client's coat, their client goes on a staff's name hanger. So that client or anyone who helps get the coat can deliver the coat to the right person.
That's a funny little system that evolved in our salon and you've talked about it on here before, but the reason we started doing that and you wanted to implement it is because someone went home with someone else's coat and they were the same coat.
And the keys were in the coat, so the other client couldn't leave.
Right.
It was a hot mess. So our staff has grown a lot over this last year and is continuing to grow even through the end of 2023. So to have a system for these coats makes sense when everyone comes in with their black jackets and now you're bringing out 10 coats, whose is where. So, or whose is whose. So this was just something we wanted to get these tags on these hangers now. So we're all set for coat season, which starts holiday season pretty much. The next thing was to get ready for the staff. Like, so for some of them, this may be their first real holiday season and being busy. So I'm coaching some of them to be the most available. So
what do you mean?
So that might mean, say they work 3 days a week and they're used to kind of maybe that one day being a little bit slow. And so they will either say like, hey, I'll be on call me if somebody wants to come in, or I'll watch my schedule, come in if something books in. Well, this is the time of year that if you are willing to give up some of your time for your schedule, I would be present in the salon every single day that your schedule is open. So if you work 3 days a week, I would plan on being in the salon those 3 days from the whatever your schedule is, if it's 9 to 3, 12 to 8, making sure that you are in there, because this is the time where people sometimes get their hair done once a year. And this is now that season where you will see them coming in. So if you want to build, you want to grow your audience, you want to grow your clientele, this is the time to dig deep and show up at your salon with your best foot forward, because you will see more clients often in these next 6, 7, 8 weeks than you sometimes do in any other month.
Good stuff.
And then we planned, because Christmas is really busy, so we planned to get together with our staff, something that came up, and we're taking everybody out in November. So this way we can kind of get a group gathering, but we're not right on top of the holidays. So this kind of hits everything. We're taking care of the guest experience, making sure the clients are going to have the best experience they have, systems in the salon, from even just a different cleaning system to get really organized through the busy times, to making sure logistically we have gift cards. And then on top of that, how do we also celebrate our staff? And let's do that earlier in the holiday season than wait till right before Christmas, or do it after. We wanted to do something ahead of time. So that's what we're doing.
We're hoping to do something after as well. So we're going to an event in Boston.
Yeah. A soiree.
This Monday, right?
Yeah, it's Monday.
This upcoming Monday. And we've decided to take our whole staff, except one person couldn't make it. We're going to talk about her in a minute.
Yes.
Then we're doing like a challenge, an in-house challenge with our staff.
Mm-hmm.
And if everyone hits the requirements, we're going to take everyone out. Mm-hmm. We'll take everyone out for a drink or a snack or whatever. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I think we used to try to do stuff in season, and it's too much.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. What else do we have going on? So we have some added services to the salon. So I know one of our stylists, Kayla, had come to us several times, and she loves doing nails. And she brought it up again, and the timing was just better. The timing was right, and we decided to set her up so she is able to do some nails appointments.
We have pedicures, and she does natural nails.
Yeah, so very cool. She's happy. It makes some of the clients happy.
Yeah, it's cool. And I think also during the holiday season, there are clients that will want to add on services, right? So they're in there getting their hair done. Like, you have someone that does nails. This is amazing. And this is really our time of year to kind of help Kayla grow that part of her business too. Because again, people will do things in the holidays if they don't do outside of it. And
Yeah,
then
definitely.
That can lead to that.
I had a guy that was in the other day, and he mentioned that he likes to go for manicures. So I was like, no way. Let me show you our setup here. And I set it up, I showed him the area.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is really cool. Like, this is good to know. So
there's another reason to give
a lot of
people that
crossover
come in
stuff.
your business, making sure you're always giving tours so they understand all the services that are offered under your roof.
He actually said my wife and daughter are going to like coming here even more than they do now already.
Yeah.
Because of this, which is cool. We also have some lashes and some waxing happening. Do you want to talk about that? Because this was
super cool.
This is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. So somebody who does my lashes, right? She has her own suite in North Andover. She's been doing lashes a long time.
You can say her name. She works at
Emily.
our salon.
Okay. Emily. So Emily moved to the town over from where our salon is. And she had a baby, and during her maternity leave was coming in weekly to get a blow dry, just to get out of the house, bring the baby in. And honestly, just to be around people. Like, that was pretty much what it was.
Right.
But what transpired from that was she was like, I just love being in your salon. Like, I wish like I could like be around people more often, like being in a suite now and now having 2 kids at home. Like, I just wish I could be this. And I'm like, you could come work here like 1 day a week if you want. And she's like, wait, I could? And she's like, well, could I like just work a couple hours? And I'm like, you can do whatever you want. I would love to have you in here. Like,
yeah, we have the space.
We have the space. You're super talented. So Emily now on Friday mornings is in our space and working with our team, and she loves it. She's so inspiring that one of our other staff members who used to work every other Friday decided now she wants to work every Friday because she wants to be in there more, because she loves kind of just this new vibe that Emily brought to the team. So it just is super cool. And it goes to show, like, whatever you're doing, like she has her own suite, you own a salon, whatever, but sometimes you do want to get out of where you work. And there are other salons, I'm sure, that exist like us, I hope, that can do that for you. If
they don't exist, they need to, because this whole all or nothing, this whole like, I feel like, and maybe it's changing, I don't pay as much attention to it now as when we first started the podcast, but it was like, you're either commission or you're anti-commission, or you're independent or you're anti-independent. And that it's not really a thing in my mind, because you could say be a commission employee at a salon and then do some independent education outside.
Right.
Or you can own your own suite like Emily does and pick up a shift or 2 or whatever it works out to in the future at a commission salon as an employee. The benefits are great. She gets to just show up. She doesn't have to be the boss. She loves
it. Yes.
At Hello. She can just show up. She does her job. She does it well. Her clients are happy, and it brings energy to our team.
And she's building a clientele now in an area that wouldn't have maybe gone to where she was. So it's very cool. And I don't know. Yeah, I guess that fight that you think is happening is not actually happening. Like, a lot of people want to coexist.
No, the people that are like, because I do see this still, that the only way to make money in the industry is if you're independent. That's false.
Yeah,
we know
absolutely.
That's false. That's a scarcity mindset creeping in, where people are like trying to prove that their decision is the right decision, when in fact, nobody really cares. If you're happy with your decision, be happy with your decision.
Yeah.
Whether you're independent, and if you're not, or you work for someone.
Out.
And this whole idea of like, I could never go back. They look at it as a lot of people, I've seen this written in comments places on Instagram or wherever, are like, I miss the team aspect, but I could never go backwards in my career. That's not backwards.
No.
That's forward. That's you realizing that you want something and going for it. I don't know if it's, well, I do. It's an ego thing, right? It's difficult to be like, I was a business owner and now I'm not, I guess. I'm not sure where that comes from. But either way, we've had some collaboration lately. You had another friend who you've done hair with her in the past, and you've known her for 20 something years.
Something years, yeah, maybe 25 years. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Corey?
So Corey, I have cut Corey's hair forever, which is how we've kept our relationship going. I've actually even taught at the salon that she co-owns in Concord. I've done some classes there for Evo, and through our relationship, again, over the last year or so, has kind of been this idea of, she really loves being in our salon also, and wanted to kind of get together a little more. So her and I took a cutting class together at Sullivan Beauty. And then when we were kind of out of that class, was like, we should get together and just like cut some hair, just like talk about hair. Like, just sit down and like hang out. So she came up to the salon for a Friday. It was really cool because she was able to kind of like even talk with my apprentice and give her different ideas of like her like visions on haircutting. And then we did some color stuff that just like swatching out some things of troubleshooting. And then we did a haircut together with my apprentice, her and I. And it was just a blast. It was really fun to work together and hang out. And again, she's a salon owner. She owns a salon in Concord. Like she just wanted to get out of her environment and feel inspired in a different way.
That's everything.
It was amazing.
It just breaks down to, well, there's novelty in that. You are in a different area. You're in a different atmosphere and you're doing what you always do, but it's challenging to you because it's a different atmosphere or there's a new person there. Like having Corey, and she's a seasoned hairstylist. So it's not the same as, and we have brought people in for education that are just starting their careers as well. So it's all about just keeping the energy up and keeping the vibes, I guess,
it was
of your
cool.
salon.
I had so much
forward.
fun.
And this is all during the holiday season.
Yes, all during the holiday season.
Let's talk about growing our team because our team is growing.
Yes.
Right now. So we have
huge growth.
How many assistants do we have?
3.
So we currently have 3.
One is transferring on, if you call it like, I guess this Coke type thing. Like she's passing through, hitting her marks. So she's able to take.
So what you're trying to explain, and you love to add in all these words, is that we have a very customized approach to our assistants. Some assistants are going to move through very quickly and others are going to take a while. Hi, Ollie. If you can see Ollie, if you're watching the new video. My
partner in crime.
I like your hat, buddy. What was I saying? So some people are going to fly through that program and others are going to take a little while longer. So we have someone that is excelling and flying through.
Yep. She's testing out everything. Doing great. We're working on education still continuously, but through that, she's able to take clients on the floor while helping out.
And then we have others that are moving at, I would say, a good pace, just more like standard.
Yeah. And now we're working on, they just have to test out of those things in order to be able to perform them. And once they get the A-OK, those services now can be performed on the floor.
Yep. And then we have another assistant that we told we were going to bring on closer to when they were done with school.
Yes, which is early next year.
Yeah. And then there is pretty much a wait list for that at this point. So there's a wait list for that.
Yeah, and then we have
to bring on somebody, if you're listening and you're in school or just getting out of school, we love to have conversations with people because things change so fast. So we might not have a position for an assistant currently, but that doesn't mean in 2 months we won't.
Right.
And I'm happy to reach back out. I had somebody email the other day and I said, look, I'm going to be honest right now with schedules and stuff. It's not the easiest time to get people in to even meet. And I can tell you that I do not have a position, so I don't want to waste your time.
Right.
If you want to reach out, I think it was like March or April of next year, when you're closer to finishing school, I guarantee, well, I can't guarantee you, but I guarantee things will be different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Changing. Yes.
So her name is now on my list of people. So if she reaches back out or when she reaches back out, we've already established that first contact, which is great. We do have some newer people, I think, joining our team. We have some second interviews.
Yes.
I'll call it.
People that are reaching out, just sort of looking for a new salon home. And
these are existing stylists.
Yes.
And we'll leave it at that. So we don't.
That are just.
We don't want to blow up anybody's spot. But
they're just searching. They are ready for a change. And from the conversations that I've had or we have had with them, if they're making a change, it would be at hello. That would be the only way they would make the change. And
that's their words.
That's their words, not mine.
Yeah.
And then now it's just logistics of what does this look like and how do we want this all to work itself out, which is very exciting, like very exciting.
Yeah, it's challenging to us. Not anything crazy to deal with. It's just when you introduce different people into your culture, what does that do? When you introduce people coming from one salon, say, to our salon, like where are their level of cleanliness is huge to us. So like, where is that at? And we'll have these conversations up front. There's not going to be any surprises. We'll walk through. We have systems in place, so I'm not too worried about it. You either follow the systems or you don't follow the systems.
Correct.
And we can have the conversation several times and then it's either a good fit or not. But that should be at every business and every industry.
Right.
Let's talk about you've been training a lot because education is no one's really education heavy in the summer.
Yeah.
So in the fall, things really kicked back up for you. Do you want to talk about any of that stuff? You just did. Well, I'll let you just go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm teaching a lot of Hueverse classes, which is just a color line by Evo, and it's pretty much exploding in our area. So people want the knowledge of that. But I was able to just kick out one of my, it's a blonding class, and it was a really cool live demo in the morning. The model was amazing. One of the people that Todd and I mentor, Katie, was my assistant. So that really helped the day flow really well. And then in the afternoon, we did another demo on a mannequin and then a hands-on portion with those that wanted to stay. And the class just kicked ass. It was amazing. It was cool to see some people come just to see me teach. That's why they picked up the class, which was just super, I don't know, it makes me feel good. A lot of them, I've done some stuff in their salon and then they came out to just support.
It was a last minute. You were a replacement.
I was a replacement. So once they heard I was replacing, they joined the class, which just made me feel great.
Yeah, very cool.
You know, it was a unique situation. This month I have some cutting classes coming up. So I'll end the year with a lot of cutting. But I also am visiting in our area. It's called Pinkerton Academy. It is a high school 1 town over from us. And I'm on their advisory board for their cosmetology program. And I will be going to the school next Monday and talking to the different levels of cosmetology within their school and just...
So students.
To students, sorry.
I'll be talking to students.
And just, I don't even know what I'm talking about, but
I'll be
Carol,
talking
the educator,
to the different levels of,
she has
educational...
She has 3 different, I guess, groups of students.
Of course,
and I'll be talking to each group individuly. Yes. And the goal is that Hello will be a liaison to these students, those that are really into doing hair. Our staff will come in at some point. We'll do some classes with them and just help them get excited and talk about real stuff that happens when you get out of school. So this is kind of the first step in that direction.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's a lot. We unpacked a lot there.
That's a lot. Yes. Cool. And do you want me to tell my other thing?
It's up to you.
Okay. So I travel every year to up my education with Evo. It's a requirement if I want to keep teaching. And last year, excitingly, I was invited to it's called a creative team training. So that was a way for them to try to grow that team. And
was that Georgia?
That was in Georgia.
Okay.
Yep. It was a way for them to grow the creative team, but it was also a way for them to grow the market with all their other educators that are strong educators and allow them to teach creative content. So when that class was over, I was able to come back here and teach just their new creative cutting and their new creative coloring techniques. So that would be that blonding class I just taught. I did a creative cutting class at the beginning of the year and a couple other ones. So super cool. And then I just got a call, which is really exciting. And I was invited to Australia to train with their regional team. So now I will get the regional content, the creative content, and the fundamental content all in this one big 9 days of training, I think it is, and be able to come back and teach all of that fundamental training here and potentially be part of that team and travel around. And there was, I think, only 4 of us that were invited to go. So the opportunity is amazing. Yeah. Whatever comes out of it, I think is cool. But to be with a group of elite educators and be able to learn side by side, I expect to come back feeling like $1 million and really inspired and ready to go for 2024 of educating. And I feel super honored.
Yeah, the honored part is cool. You should be... I feel like with something like that, you get invited, you're going to literally the opposite side of the planet. So it's a little surreal until it is here.
I was speechless at first and like, what's happening? Yeah.
But I think it's super cool even to be invited.
Yeah, it was. Amazing. For my name to be thrown in a hat and to be considered, right? And then offered. Because I'm sure there's many that were considered, but to be then the offering,
Well, to get the phone call, that's like, hey, if you want this, your seat is here. Here are the dates. Yeah. So cool. I'm excited for that. Can't wait to hear about your trip, because I will not be talking to you for 9 days because I'm not staying up till whatever time.
It'll be crazy, but it's very exciting. And like I said, I can't wait.
That's awesome. Well, I've already said it, but on the air for our audience, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Anything else? I think that's a lot.
No, that's where we're at right now. Keep listening. Enjoy the interviews. We've got just some cool people coming on. And
next week, which people should start probably even by this weekend, I would imagine, seeing some tease of the Tim Howard episode.
It went really well.
He's
fun.
Just an awesome person to talk to. And it was just a joy to sit down and get an hour of his time.
Yeah, hopefully we introduce you to some new people either you didn't know existed or didn't know things about them. And they inspire you like they do for us. So,
and I'm very excited we have a potential for next week. I'm waiting to hear back.
Which would be so exciting.
Yeah, he's another really great person that.
Yeah. If it works out, like.
He's coming on. We've already committed. It's just finding the date now. So, all right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in.
Yeah.
And we will see you. Oh, you're on video. So we will literally see you next time.
Say bye.
Bye.